Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be working in my sketchbook on some stickers that I had already sketched rough drafts out, but today I'm going to be finishing the hand-drawn stickers. And today I'm going to be using the Ohuhu watercolor set. And so far I really like this. It's really nice. It has a sponge, a little brush pen that holds its own water, which I thought was very cool. It has, pencil, eraser, and then it has a little swatch test with the names. So I had already swatched them, so I kind of knew what they look like after they dried. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm going to be using this today. And first, since we're using watercolor, I don't really like how pencil makes it muddy, so I'm just kind of erasing as much as I can the pencil sketches, and then I'm going to start off with some of the yellow and just start going in on the sun, putting on a little layer of yellow, and just covering the whole thing. I'm kind of time-lapsing through this because it took forever, but then at this point I was using like a darker yellow mixed with a little bit of the orange, going in doing like the blush on the cheeks and the shadows. And then since I was already using the yellow and the orange, I went down to the candle sticker sketch and started adding in the yellow for the flame, because I didn't want to muddy the colors by going back and forth as much as I possibly could. So I was just, adding in the yellow and little rays of kind of light, I suppose, for the little candle flame. And then next I'm going to be using like a kind of dark mid-brown, but I'm watering it down a little bit just because I wanted to try and attempt to layer the dimensions on this candle portion. I didn't want to start off too dark and too brown. I wanted it to really give that like pale kind of like off-white candle color, but get the shadows really well and where the light was hitting in the little dips of the candle. Here I am adding like a darker brown. I feel like every time I paint, I'm not pushing the values enough. I feel like it needed to be darker and the lights needed to be lighter. And then here I am, I'm using like one of the silvery gray colors, just laying down the shadows and the highlights on the metal candle holder. And then I believed I went back in, because I couldn't quite get the highlights the way I wanted. So I had gone back in with a white gel pen to get once it dried. And then I started using one of the lighter greens for the green leaves and the stems for the snowdrop flowers. And I chose the snowdrop flowers because they're one of the flowers that kind of represents January, kind of like those birth flowers. And I really liked that in a lot of the pictures of the snowdrops, the flowers are white, but a lot of the shadows gave off blue. And to quote one of my favorite shows, if you see something blue, paint it blue. So I ended up painting the shadows on these blue. And I really, really liked how they all kind of turned out. But I felt like I wanted to add some texture, so I pulled out some colored pencils. And once they dried, I just kind of went in and started like sketching/doodling on top of the watercolor just to kind of add a little bit more texture and dimension. And these are up close of the sticker sketches, paintings, once I was all done. I really liked how they turned out. Then I just took a picture of them on my phone. And then for the sticker sheets, I got these glossy sticker sheets, and then I have an Epson printer. And then I went on Canva, and I basically just put the pictures from my phone and like dragged and pulled it over and made them all like fit onto one sheet of paper, since the sticker sheets are 8 8.5 by 11 inches, just like a regular piece of printed paper. And I did a couple of test sheets. I really liked how they turned out. And then I printed off, did the same thing for the sun and the snowdrops. And since I can't hold scissors, I just love cutting them. We had to hand cut them because I don't have a machine. But these are what they ended up looking like. And I am really proud of them, honestly, since they're my first stickers. And I really, really liked them. But thank you guys so much for watching.